Thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and to our guests. Can you see me? Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, my fellow Toastmaster. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and to our guests, welcome to this rendezvous of growth. As you have heard, my title of my speech tonight is The Pursuit of Happiness. So I thought, let me take you on a journey. And tonight, we're going to do a bit of time travel. So I'd like you to imagine that you are in New Jersey in the United States, and I will take you back, way back into time. So imagine it is 9th August 1963, and you are in a ward, a labor ward in which a baby is born, and you hear the midwife say, "It's a girl." And moments following this, you are standing on a stage and you're watching the reels of this little girl's life who is happy and jovial and loves to sing. You watch that this girl becomes the woman who wins multiple Grammy awards at the Grammy Awards. I'll take you back into time once again, and this time we're going back to Chicago, and we're in 1951, and it is July. And once again, you hear a midwife say, "It's a baby," but this time, it's a boy. And now what is amusing about this child is he's so happy and hilarious, and everyone around him is always happy and laughing and smiling. As you watch these reels, this child grows up to be a man, and he is also an Academy-winning actor. So we will call the little girl The Voice, and we will call the little boy Mrs. Doubtfire. At this point, fellow Toastmasters and guests, you would have guessed who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the sensational songbird, Whitney Houston, and I'm talking about the legendary comedian and actor, Robin Williams. Now, it is all joy and accolades until we hear that The Voice was found dead in her home due to a drug overdose. And sadly, our Mrs. Doubtfire was found dead, and the autopsy revealed that he died from asphyxiation due to suicide. Now, these two people have three things in common. One, they were highly talented. Two, they were very well paid. And three, they were loved world over. The moment they died, each of us, maybe in the moments after or a few months after, we learned of their death, and it gripped us with sadness, because why die at such an early age and give up so much talent, right, for things that seemed to have been avoidable? So the question that begged an answer for me was, how do you have so much and yet not be happy? Really, how do you have so much and not be happy? Is that not what everyone pursues? Is it not success? Is it not fame? Is it not recognition? Is that not it? But I have a few suggestions of my own. Maybe just one, right? Perhaps what each of us pursues is not exactly happiness, but fulfillment, right? And fulfillment, and happiness rather, is but a byproduct of that fulfillment. And so what happens is, naturally, and I'd like you to think about it, naturally what happens in every decision that we make as human beings, we're doing one of two things, and correct me if I'm wrong. We're doing one of two things. We're either running towards pleasure or running from pain, right? So our decisions are always here, in the middle, in the pursuit. We're either pursuing pleasure or escaping pain. Now, I want you to take note of a key word, and the word is decision. Decisions, if you like, two words, decision or decisions, because it is in the moment of decisions where our life is actually made. It is not in the attainment of something, but in the process of decision. What if? Just what if? Because we know who we are talking about now. We're talking about Robin Williams. We're talking about Whitney Houston. Just what if Whitney Houston had decided to not be taking drugs consistently? What if Robin Williams had decided to get help for the mental struggles he had? Just what if they had made the choices for a healthier life? Granted, the situation is more complex than can be answered in the one question, why are you not happy, right? There's mental health issues, there's failure to manage popularity, there's so many things that can be addressed. But all of them come down to decisions. And is that not true for us today too? That every day we're making decisions and we're pursuing pleasure or running away from pain, and all in the name of seeking to be happy. Let me suggest to you, ladies and gentlemen, this evening, 5 things that actually helped me in deciding that I wanted to live a more fulfilled life. And I'll give you another backstory, and I can't compare my life to Robin Williams or the Whitney Houston, right? Of course I cannot, because I am light years away from that life. But like them, I have one chance at life. Like you, we have one chance at life. And how that is determined is how we interpret the situations that happen in our lives and the decisions we make to changing those situations. So I went through the mighty Ziale, right? And yes, I was beaten to a pulp doing that. And no regrets, because so many lessons were learned from there, right? But here is something that I learned. After years of toiling, after years of struggling to get to the end line, we finished the course, we were done. And it was a day or two after call day, and I felt a sense of emptiness. And I asked the same question I asked tonight. Shouldn't I be happy? Was this not what I worked hard for over 7 years to do this? And that is when my search began. The search to finding fulfillment and hopefully finding the byproduct of happiness. I decided there were 5 things that were important to achieving this. 1, I had to take care of my mind, because that's the engine from which everything flows. The decisions I made ultimately came from there. 2, I needed to take care of my body, because from there my body came out with disease like low blood pressure, gastritis, because I did not manage my stress. Right? And then there's my finances. So I was done with school, but I had no money and I had to look for a job. And looking for a job still requires money. So I had to find ways to look for money. But money is such a big issue because it extends beyond just looking and finding the job. If you want a certain lifestyle, you have to make certain decisions to make the money that requires you to live that lifestyle. And another one is my spiritual life. What do I believe? Which I believe is the compass of my life, because what I believe ultimately affects my mind and the decisions I make and how my body functions, right? And the next one is my relationships. How connected am I in the community where I am? Here at Toastmasters, at my church, in my home with my family, in my place of work, because those relationships also influence my growth. So in the pursuit of happiness, ladies and gentlemen, I want to leave this with you tonight, and always remember that for success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. It is not the end goal that we seek, which is happiness, but it is in the pursuit. They say progress makes perfect. I forget now what it says, but I believe that progress makes happiness. When you decide to do something and you take steps to be better each and every day, taking care of your mind, your beliefs, your heart, because those things matter, your body, how you will run your life, and the relationships around you, those are the things that count in the pursuit of happiness. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening. Thank you.